What's good, everyone? This is Dev the Coolest.
And this is Ray Bay.
And this is JB.
And welcome to Slick Talk.
Hashtag Slick Talk, y'all. What's good?
With a hashtag. Got it.
Oh, we could come out with a song like that.
We better. We need some merchandise. We need some merchandise. ASAP. Anyway, what's good, y'all? Welcome back.
That was a side note to me or something.
No.
What? Don't take everything so personal, right there.
A side note to me. Anyway,
but welcome back, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning into another episode of Slick Talk, hashtag Slick Talk. What are we talking? Oh, we're talking about, we're going to bring in this tank situation that's going on.
Tackle this
and then we're going
situation.
to elaborate and talk a bit more beyond.
That conversation.
Yes,
it's
that
gonna be
conversation.
a great conversation.
Yes.
Yeah,
So what happened with Tank?
So I guess I'll start off because I was very intrigued. Actually, so shout out to Angela Lee from the Breakfast Club,
your fellow Capricorn.
Absolutely, and I love her too. Like I love how she stays kind of in the middle. She doesn't really jump to either side of Charlamagne or DJ Envy. She has her own mind and she speaks her own truth.
They unfollowed each other apparently, though, according to the blogs.
So
that's another topic. But
that's another topic.
Angela Lee and Charlamagne the God.
That's for a separate reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, so while watching her show Lip Service, they had Tank on the show. And it's crazy because the conversation is it's focused on sexual, it's like a sexual conversation that she has. So of course it would get into something like what we're hearing about the Tank situation, but it didn't start off that way. They were completely talking about a whole different.
It was a whole hour episode.
Yeah, but it started the whole tidbit soundbite that they got from what he said started off in a whole different lane, just talking about whether somebody can be considered. I think I'm kind of paraphrasing, but it was whether somebody can be considered a liar based upon lying one time, or if they can be considered a cheater based upon cheating one time. So just to focus on that before we carry on, do you believe that somebody can be considered a liar for the rest of their life?
I was not prepared for this.
If they just lie one time?
No.
What about if they lied 2 times?
No.
Everybody lie.
No, I get that. So how long? I mean, what does a person have to do to be considered a liar?
Well, I guess if you have a pattern of lying for
a pattern. So what is a pattern considered?
A pattern is more than twice. I guess I don't know. It depends on who defines it, right?
Okay. So what about if we change to cheater? Do you think if somebody is considered a cheater if they cheat one time, Dev the Coolest?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
But I've also been affected by someone cheating on me. So
have you?
Absolutely. We talked about this before.
It was a rhetorical question.
But no. I mean, maybe no.
Okay. So for you, how long does a person have to? I mean, how many times, or what does a person have to do to be considered a cheater?
Hopefully once. But my thing is it's very situational. It's situation by situation. It depends on why they cheated, how many times they cheated. The reason I got cheated on was some bullshit because I was with a narcissist, but that's my situation. So he'll probably always be a cheater. Yeah. But
oh, goodness.
Damn.
But I know people that have cheated and are very faithful now.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so pretty much basically what I get from you guys is that people can evolve and people can learn. They don't necessarily have to be labeled as just one thing.
Yeah.
And leading into that, basically where the conversation led with them and where the soundbite came from with Tank is the fact that Angela Yee, being Angela Yee, she said, so if a person sucks dick one time, does that make them gay? And that was a lead up to Tank saying,
if a person or for a man. Specifically.
Well, if a man, if a man, excuse me, thank you for the correction. So if a man sucks dick one time, does that make them gay? And that's when Tank elaborated and said, if he sucks it, one time, it doesn't make him gay. If he sucks it 2 times, he just
he don't like it.
Yeah, what I took from that is that it was curiosity. There's a lot of people, my personal experience, I believe that a lot of people are curious, but they're scared to act on it because of society pressures or whatever the case may be. They don't want to be labeled.
Yeah.
I don't personally like labels. Anyways, so that's what led up to him saying, no, if you suck dick 2 times, you shouldn't be gay, because he also continued in saying gay is a continued action for you to be labeled as gay. You have to continue it, but if you do it one time,
and you say the second time was I'm just trying it out to,
or trying to make sure.
Exactly. I don't like it, so it's
consider you gay. I mean, probably you were curious at one point in your life, and
I'm
sure a lot of people do that. Doesn't make that.
Being curious doesn't make you gay. Like curiosity is not one and the same with being gay.
Experiment.
Like because
you don't know if you're gay unless you're experiment.
Exactly.
So
how do you know you don't like strawberry ice cream if you never had it?
That's very, very true.
So
just leading up to that question, and then we can just flow with the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
This my question to start it off would be, do you believe? I can personally believe what I would think that you guys would believe in it, but I feel like as gay men, we can be a little biased with jumping to defending him saying that because we're gay men and we want to make sure that we protect, him saying that, because it kind of like, in a sense, is validating kind of our community. It validates bisexuality or bi-curious men, right?
Okay.
So do you think that with us being biased because of how we identify in our lives, do you think that if you guys were straight men, that you guys would still consider that to be, if you guys are straight black men, would you guys consider that still to be kind of like, would you guys still not label that person as being gay if they tried to suck a dick one or two times? That's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to because it's easy.
I get the question.
I get the
you go first.
And expand upon that. Like, you can answer the question and say what you believe.
If I was a straight black man, would I try to label someone for doing that? Well, I mean, it's hard to answer that question because my viewpoint is very different. I'm very open, when it comes to people, and I am not straight.
Put yourself in somebody that is hetero.
If
position.
I was a straight man who's been told by society that this act is definitely this, and I am definitely straight because I like this, therefore, yes, I could see why straight man would say that a man who sucked dick once or twice is gay. I would understand that. But
why would you understand that?
Probably because your viewpoint doesn't go past yourself.
Got it.
Because if society is built in a way where it tells you you're right and then this thing is wrong, and then it tells you like this act is forbidden, and this, you kind of feel like everything prescribed to you is it's already defined. You don't have to go beyond and search for something new because you feel differently than the other person who doesn't fit that box.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I asked that question. Yeah. But you can elaborate and you could expand upon what he just said if you would like to. To have the coolest.
No, Ray Bay definitely hit it. But as you kept saying straight, that took my mind somewhere. Every time you said straight man, not from what you were saying, but I'm like, dang. So being gay is really just not the straight and narrow, huh?
Yeah.
But no, but I mean, I get it, but I think people just need to look beyond their perspective, right? Or try to understand beyond their perspective. Like hopefully he's not upset with me for saying this, but my daddy's even told me when I was growing up about his experiences growing up, like with other men.
Oh, don't be putting your dad on blast like this.
Right, but he's a straight man now. He's very, very straight. I mean, but I think you don't know unless you try it, right? And if you're straight,
I understand that to a point.
Okay,
I agree with that statement to a point.
Yeah,
what point do you stop?
No. To a point, I agree with that statement to a point. But then I feel like everybody's different. So there are some people that literally, wake up in the morning or are born or go through life and they like what they like. They know what to do.
Yeah,
so it's like you don't need to try it because
they know they don't want it.
Because you can flip it and reverse it and saying there's a lot of gay men that have never tried pussy.
Right.
So how do they know that they don't like pussy? But they will defend to the court. No, I don't like
it. Pussy. It looks like pastrami.
But it's like, how do you know? You never tried it.
My goodness.
Put your lips on it. Put your dick in it. Let's see if you like it or not.
I liked it, but not enough to be with it for life.
Right.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I think for me it was the same thing. It was like you can see a physical attraction to it, but there's no emotional attraction to the person.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
So it's crazy because you tried it. So you can ask somebody that's hetero this question and said, "Hey, well, since I tried pussy, you know, I'm saying,
right, flip it.
I'm definitely not bi.
What does that make me?
Right.
If I tried pussy before one day in my life, is that?
I mean, I'd be down for like an orgy menage a trois situation, but I'm not going to be like you said, emotionally connected.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
But those are fun though, by the way.
You said what?
Those are fun.
Okay, what's fun?
Menage a trois with
Okay, finally in the third season.
Oh, my 20s.
Right, here we go. Finally.
Oh no, I have a lot of experiences
Episode
that
6.
I do not share. It's gonna be written though.
Oh, okay. Look out for his book.
Write a book.
Okay.
But no, but that is a good way. I actually didn't even think of flipping it to.
Yeah.
I mean, like I've tried puss a few times.
Yeah.
And it's like I mean. Here I am.
Good. I mean, it's good and it's gushy, but I mean, like, you know.
Okay.
I mean, just like there's a connection.
Because
Anyways,
I tried, because I licked the clit twice doesn't make me straight.
We should have had a disclaimer. If you got babies in the room, you know.
I mean, every episode is explicit, so I hope your baby is listening.
Listen, the podcast is called Slick Talk, not called Baby Talk. But no.
I hate you.
But yeah, so what else do you guys, what were some more takeaways from that dialogue?
Definitely how limited straight men are. I think like I didn't realize how much empathy I could have for straight men because of how limiting their expression is. Because
why do you think that is?
Definitely the patriarchal society we live in. Like, men are not allowed to explore not just their vulnerability, but their emotions, and now they can't even explore with their own sexuality. I don't think you doing like a act that would be called homosexual once or twice makes you a homosexual. I think you were just curious and you just wanted to try it.
Right. Or you just wanted to have fun.
Yeah, we are curious people, and that's why a lot of straight men, I know a lot, but I know they're not going to come forward with this, but have tried experimenting when they were younger, like around right before you become a teen or right when you're a teenager.
Or
it's
even
crazy
as like
because women do it all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And
I was mentioning before to the conversation I had with this that I have a very close best friend that when I was coming up and she was going to the gay clubs and stuff with me like that, she was talking to women. She was getting her pussy eaten by women. She was like really dating a woman.
Because women, from what I've heard, know how to do it better than me because they know how it's supposed to feel. I mean, but that argument can also be flipped on the other side.
But I think women were allowed to more than men to explore with their sexuality. Like, nobody's gonna label you, oh my god, you're a lesbian, because this is just like, hey, it was college.
Absolutely.
I tried it.
I kissed a girl.
Absolutely.
But I mean, looking forward, I can not looking forward, but I can also look at society when people are rejected based on your own identity, even if you're a straight man. There's a lot of things that you can just try just because you said fuck it. Like, I mean, there's a lot of porn stars that are straight, but they do gay porn because it pays more.
Absolutely.
Money is a motivator.
Absolutely.
Money will change some shit.
Yes.
Gay for pay.
Listen. And they be making coins too.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
So if you're considering, if you're straight and you're listening to this and you're considering it, I'm telling you, get some coins. If you don't care what people say about you. If you don't care what people say about you, get some coins.
Right.
Actually, there's another experience I know, but anyways, I'll leave that to the side. So
damn,
not
teasing us and then just leaving it to the side. I mean, I guess we both rubbing our thighs today. Remember last time we were
it's about that time.
No, but I think my biggest takeaway from it is we talked about this with cancel culture a little bit, but people not getting the full context of things and just blowing up a clip and making it what it's not.
It's so annoying.
It's clickbait.
Annoying.
It's so
clickbait,
annoying.
exactly.
Yeah.
Clickbait.
It has forced me to watch and listen to everything because I'm like, I want context.
Yeah.
I need to know where this tidbit,
because Tank didn't say he himself did it.
No.
He was talking about if a man does it, then blah blah blah. But because of that one clip. Even in the clip, he said if he didn't say if I.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
That's
well. I mean, when I first heard the clip, I think it was somebody who was doing kind of like a reaction, a comedy reaction, from it. I thought he was talking about somebody he actually know, like a friend. And probably so people
it could possibly very well be that.
Yeah, but now I looked at the video. It was a hypothetical question.
It was a hypothetical question.
Watch the full.
That could have had some reality to it, but doesn't mean that it was Tank's reality.
Right.
It was.
So I personally, as a gay man, I personally don't believe. I'm just going to put it on the record. I don't believe that that Tank is gay.
I don't either.
Period. I feel like that man is comfortable with his sexuality and very articulate when it comes to our community and everything. Like whether people were like, oh, he's trying to sell records, whatever the case may be.
He's comfortable in
himself because there's still niggas that will refuse to say anything close to that or collaborate with somebody that's gay because they feel like it's going to ruin their image.
That's interesting too, because when he was on Breakfast Club and he and Charlamagne were literally just openly talking about getting their asses ate by their partner, by their women. It was like the comments and the feedback from I guess I'm assuming straight people were very like, that's gay, that's gay, that's gay. And it's like, well, wait a minute.
Exactly.
They said their wives and their girlfriends are doing it. So how does that make them? I think there's a fascination with, for some reason, there's some fascination with straight people or people that have like a following with them wanting to be gay. Yeah. Like, I don't get it. Like, what's the fascination there with that?
I think they tweet. To me personally, what I get from it is that they kind of like twirl with the idea that it appeals. It's starting to become more appealing to the masses, and people are starting to gravitate more towards people that are more openly acceptable towards our community. Like, and when you think about it, I honestly feel like between like if you look at our community in a sense, in a whole, like the black community, I feel like black women and black gays are the ones that are purchasing and streaming the most like music and supporting these artists more than anything. So if we're the ones, if our demographic, gay black demographic, is purchasing music and purchasing different things and items and everything, it sounds right for people to kind of like toy and play around with the idea of being gay, or even kind of like making sure that they appease their gay fan base so we can keep on supporting them. So I get why people play with it.
I think Tank is very emotionally intelligent, and I also think that he did a very great business move, because
it was definitely
black men are not really buying Tank's music. It's gay men and black women, like you said.
Yeah,
you're right.
So it's
black gay men. I think he's like like going back and forth between performing at a gay pride because of.
But he did already.
Oh, he did.
Oh, yeah.
He took his shirt off and everything.
Yeah, he definitely.
Well, no, he did in the past. I'm just saying. In
no, he
have
don't.
Oh yeah, you know what? At this point of his career, I think Tank. I stopped hearing about Tank for a minute. And I was talking to somebody about that.
Oh, he's very relevant now.
The gays revived his career right back up, and keep doing that. Keep speaking.
Because there's a fascination with it for some reason. I don't understand it, because I'm in the lifestyle. Like I'm a queer man, so I'm like, I don't understand the fascination with wanting black men specifically to be gay, like dragging them out of the closet, and then once they, like Lil Nas X, they do. Then
it's kind of like, in a sense, I feel like it's kind of like, to your point, it's like demasculating the black man, because already like the black man is like perceived to be like the strong, dominant, super hyper masculine, everything like that. So if you can find like
a reason to break it down,
to kind of break it down and say, oh, this is what they
but
really
are. But it's mostly from the black community that's trying to like.
That's what I was trying to clarify. Whose fascination is to do that?
Definitely the black community.
Well, the black community has a way of like breaking it down, but then I personally believe there's an agenda as well.
We talked.
I don't think there's an agenda.
I don't think there's an agenda.
I think there's an agenda when it comes to like entertainment and like the executives. I feel like they do try to push sometimes a gay agenda on the masses and shove it down certain people's throats. Like, we want this to be acceptable.
Like we talked about with Charlor Talk. Like I think we lead the way in a lot of ways as a community, right? And since we are in the forefront of everything, like it just heightens, it just takes everything to like an extreme. So like I said, I feel like the black community is the ones that are fascinated with trying to figure out if someone's sexuality, right? I
think there's different viewpoints on that. I mean, I know black gay men would really be interested in Tank being gay because it fulfills their fantasy, right?
Well, yeah.
And then
still fulfills their fantasy.
There's that too.
It still fulfills their fantasy with him being straight.
Yeah.
Right.
And straight black men, I think, would be kind of hung up on if the possibility of Tank being gay to explain basically how emotionally open he is, I guess.
Is that the end game?
I feel like men who see other men be vulnerable or express some kind of what is the word I'm looking for? Intimacy. Especially black men in the community, it seemed as if they're leaning towards gay because they're just too open and too I guess, too free.
Yeah, it's very subjective.
Yeah, because remember when
Chingy,
the whole thing with Chingy, his career ultimately
with the trans,
with the trans, right? Which ended up not being true, but that was huge.
Yeah.
Who else? I can think
There's
of.
definitely a fascination.
Right. Like Busta Rhymes for a period.
Eddie Murphy apparently got pulled over with the trans.
Yes. Like, and it's just like.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There's always been a fascination.
You
don't have to belabor that point, though.
Right.
That's
I keep going back to it, but I'm like...
I totally get it. It's really interesting, but I don't think there'll ever be a conclusion on why.
Yeah, I think everybody has different reasons why they're fascinated with that.
Okay.
But my next question...
Maybe we're a fantasy.
Or do y'all secretly want to be gay, too?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Maybe we're the fantasy.
A lot of people want to secretly be gay.
What? It's...
Yeah. They want to be
what was your question? Sorry.
They want to be curious at least. My next question is
why do I always say sorry? I realize that. Sorry. I say sorry a lot. Sorry again.
And you said sorry again.
See, I say it a lot. I say it so much. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's take that out of the vocabulary because you're not sorry.
I'm not. Thank you. I ain't sorry.
Hey, I'm going to play that on the way
We
home.
are going on a tangent.
No. So my next question, next question, starting off with Dev is, while you were seeing all this pushback towards Tank and everything and all the negative, because I'm sure you guys read the comments. Well, I don't know if Ray read the comments, but I know Dev
stay out the comments.
is like me. I'd be nosy, like, what's going on? Pretty much, what's the popular vote? Are people leaning towards supporting him or like being negative against him more? I'm just curious off of it. So with your research, we're looking through the comments or what you've even heard or what you've seen. Like, did you see that there was one demographic of people that were outweighing others, like a one that was high up when it came to like being opposed to what Tank was saying and saying, no, that's gay? Or, was there like a group of people like more?
I think there was definitely people more so, like you said, that were saying like, that's gay. Yeah. Like if you do it, that's gay. But that goes back to the point, they didn't listen to the full interview. They got that little clip.
But what demographic though? Like, was it black men?
Women.
Was it black women?
Black women.
Oh, okay.
For sure, black women.
Interesting.
Absolutely black women.
Very, very interesting. And why do you think that is?
I don't know. Like, I
Because I thought that to me, honest, I feel like black women is like our number one allies as black gay men.
As gay men,
so isn't it crazy?
But they also, as hetero black women, I think they always have this like fear of their man being gay. So they like, if anyone is like saying anything that's aligned with possibly being homosexual, they're going to be like, that's gay. And so if you do that as my man, it's a no-go.
It's definitely fear-based because
black
women, there's been this idea that black men are being taken from them, and like black men are just leaving the community and dating white women more. And statistically speaking, black men turn around and marry black women more often than we think. Therefore, that stigma, they don't want to compete with anything else. Like, not only am I competing with white women, I'm going to compete with another man too. Yeah. Like, I understand it. It's pretty much fear-based.
But I think with that, on the other side of it though, that is what makes black men afraid to explore their sexuality in this way.
I think black men are also afraid to explore their sexuality because of black men.
Yeah, what we just said, from my guys, what we were talking about in the beginning. Yeah, society pressure.
Societal pressures, yes, but
also there's been a conditioning that you don't express your emotions, you don't express this, you don't express
from birth.
From birth.
I mean, I've seen black men talk to their children in a way I'm like.
But I guarantee if black women miraculously gave the green light for black men to explore their sexuality and them being okay with it, because in our last episode, and I know plenty of black women that would never date a black man that is interested or open to doing anything sexually with another man. Period. That is just a no-go for them.
And
however, on the other side, black men are totally open with black women doing it, right? Yeah. So I think if black women gave the green light to be like, okay, explore your sexuality. I know there are some black women that do give the green light, but overall, if black women said, okay, it's
and
okay.
I mean, that's true. I've known black women who've explored their sexuality with other women that would not date a man that did the same.
Right.
And that, to me, that's crazy.
Right.
But you're right. Like, you don't see the same thing in the white community. You don't, because actors like Tom Hardy talked about, being involved with a man before, or I don't know if it was a full-fledged relationship, but now he's married with wife and kids, so and he just like, it happened, but this is where I'm at now, and he's labeled as straight. We don't even question his sexuality. And actors play gay men, and they can still go back and still be.
That's a whole nother layer.
Listen, because I personally feel some way about that, but finish your point.
But when black men do the same thing, it's like, whether they played a drag queen or if they played, they played gay in a role, they're not allowed to play to pretty much like go back to being, straight. It's like people think that they're secretly gay.
So we're going to wrap up in a minute, but just so we can just make it clear. So I gave my perspective of what I believe that Tank was. Can you guys just say, like, do you think that, I think you guys explained about the situation, but when it comes to Tank personally, Dev, the coolest, do you think that he's gay, bisexual, straight?
I think he's straight.
Okay.
But he can be sexually fluid too.
And I think Tank is 100% straight.
You think he's 100% straight? Okay, I believe that he's straight as
I'm sure he wouldn't oppose running train on somebody though, on a woman, like with another man.
Okay.
I don't think.
And that's actually another conversation too.
I'm sure he wouldn't mind having another man in the room, but I don't think he would touch or do anything with the other man.
Yeah. And if he did,
but this is just project. I don't know him.
I don't know where this went.
And then that conversation would be like, would he then be considered bisexual? Because I think what also wasn't discussed is that people were instantly labeling him as gay, when it's like, you don't have to be gay or straight. There's bisexual as well. And the crazy thing about it is, there was a minute, a long time that I didn't believe in bisexuality. I was like, because I'm very black and white in general.
That period too, for sure.
I'm very black and white in general at times.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't really believe in bisexuality. I think you're either gay or straight, or if you're one or the other, you grow out of one of them and then you become into that. But so there's people that are bisexual as well. So is there? I would ask if there's a possibility that he could be bisexual as well, like.
Tank?
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I don't think.
Because I think you have to not practice it, but you have to actually live the lifestyle of a bisexual. Like, my ex is bi. He has a girlfriend now. And, he's my ex. So
that's what I'm saying. So, and then with that, is just like, so if you have a girlfriend and you are continued in a relationship with that girlfriend, are you still considered bisexual?
Absolutely. Yeah.
What would make you bisexual if you're just fucking one woman for the rest of your life?
Because
it's the capacity to be attracted to both,
exactly.
but not just on a sexual level, but also emotionally.
Okay. Because I know if I hit him up now, let me stop. I'm not a homewrecker. But no,
I can't say the same thing.
But sometimes I'd be lonely.
Sometimes I'd be lonely.
But yeah, no, half of what you see. Wait, what is it? None of what you see, half of what you hear. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yes, always. But
exactly. So I think that's another takeaway from the whole thing, is that people were jumping to conclusions about Tank, saying, "Oh, he's gay," or
straight to gay, and he has a whole ass wife.
He has a whole ass and kids.
And kids.
But in that whole conversation, let's just understand that for me, I just want myself and moving forward and everyone else to understand listening. That this is his business as well.
Right.
Exactly.
Whatever he does in the bedroom is just his business.
Tend to your own damn business.
He got a badass wife.
Right, bad.
Kids making coin. No matter if you want to say Tank was canceled or he wasn't relevant or whatever the case may be.
Tend to your business.
He's still here. There's some people that's not making any type of any coin or any type
clocking
of
into that 9 to 5 right after they make that comment. Anyway, see y'all next week.
This is a great conversation. We want to shout out Tank for being his true authentic self, and being open and standing true to our community as well, because we love allies that can understand and speak out on them, because you can also understand but not speak out and be afraid be afraid to speak out on things.
Absolutely.
So
and
shout out to Tank, shout out to Angela Yee for having that conversation.
And I definitely want to say we're gonna stand with him too and support him as an artist, because we do want people who support us to be supported as well.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Period.
Absolutely.
So stream tape.
We're not just canceling out here.
Stream what's the album called?
Hashtag Slick Talk.
What's the album called? I forgot. Anyways, nonetheless,
Dang.
this was a great conversation.
Thank y'all so much for listening to another episode of Slick Talk. Hashtag Slick Talk.
Yeah.
I always got to say the hashtag. I forget. But we'll see y'all next week.
Yes. We will.
With, I don't know what we're talking about, but next week.
Sounds good.
Bye, y'all. We love y'all.
This episode of Hashtag Slick Talk was brought to you in part by Nexus Recording Studio. If you're looking for a place to record your next EP or your podcast, please check out Nexus Recording Studio, where the Bay records. Where the Bay records. Where the Bay records. Where the Bay records.